Peace. What's good? How y'all doing? Welcome to another edition of 60 Days of History with Zaza Ali. This is officially day 18, or should I say subject number 18, from the Ancient People, a Social Studies and History textbook by yours truly. Today we are going to be focusing on Yasuke, the African samurai. And as you can see from the image on the right on your screen, that is a statue, one statue of many statues of him found throughout Japan and in museums around the world. And I love this statue because it really denotes power. He's got a swag for sure, a warrior type swag. But it's just a really interesting replica to have to look at to kind of see what he embodied and the energy that he embodied. And I think that his eyes being closed on the statue gives it a particular, mystique, if you will. So the African samurai author Thomas Lackley suggests that Yasuke was a skilled bodyguard when he arrived in Japan and had picked up military training in India. Exactly how he came into Viliano's service is unknown, but Desnu and Webb believe that Yasuke had to be highly skilled or recommended in order to work for Valiano. The first record of Yasuke in Japan describes a 1581 visit to Kyoto, the then country's capital. En route, the Jesuits party passed the port city of Sakai, where huge crowds clamored for a glimpse of the African. Allegedly, buildings collapsed under the weight of spectators and the Jesuit procession was severely disrupted. In order to escape, Yasuke had to ride a horse through the crowds of curious locals. He wasn't the first African they had seen, but was, by Japanese measures, a giant, 6 foot 2 inches tall, good looking, intelligent, and entertaining with the strength of 10 men. And because the Buddha was often portrayed with black skin, many saw him as a divine visitor. Now, that is definitely something you will not hear in history books, but it's a beautiful thing for us to ponder and consider that black skin being a representation globally of divinity, opposed to anything other than. So on your screen here on the left, there is a rendition or a painting of Oda Nobunaga, one of the leading figures of the Sengoku period. He is regarded as the first great unifier of Japan. Nobunaga was head of the very powerful Oda clan and launched a war against other daimyo to unify Japan in the 1560s. And then in the middle, you have a painter's rendition of Yasuke, who has recently gained international notoriety for being the first foreign samurai, despite the fact that his history has been well known to historians for more than a half a century. And then on your right, there is a painting of Alessandro Valiano, who was born in, Naples. He was an Italian Jesuit missionary who helped introduce Christianity to the Far East, especially to Japan. So Yasuke became a trusted member and samurai in the inner circle of the Sengoku period under warlord Oda Nobunaga. The traditions of African warrior sword culture hasn't often been explored in Western culture. Yasuke's story begins in Eastern Africa during the first century of the Portuguese incursion to usurp the African Asian spice trade. Spice trade. Yasuke was a warrior scholar. He was adept at war in over 2 continents. It is speculated that he was equal to any samurai when he arrived in Japan as a bodyguard to the Jesuit visitor Valiano. It is clearly documented that he participated in the 1582 Battle of Tenmokuzan and the Honoji incident, a decisive battle that led to the unification of Japan. He is also said to have manned a cannon at the Battle of Yamazaki, the incident in which the betrayal of Nobunaga was avenged and his dream of a unified Japan was realized. Yasuke's presence is also noted in the 1581 letters of the Jesuits Luis Frois and Lorengo Mejica. Additionally, he appears in the 1582 annual report of the Jesuit mission in Japan. Ancient People is a 349-page, full-color social studies and history textbook focused on ancient civilizations around the world. It is available in paperback and hardcover. This book places emphasis on vocabulary, spelling, critical thinking, and more. There are more than 450 photos included in the book as well. Hawaii's last monarchy, the Moors in Spain, the Kandakis of Ethiopia and Kush, the African presence in Asia, and Pharaoh Hatshepsut and the 18th dynasty. I will put the link in the description to get more information or to get your copy. And I look forward to episode or day or subject number 19 coming very soon. Peace and love.